How long gone? We're back. A beautiful Tuesday in Manhattan. I'm back on the right island. Jason, what's good?
You're back on the right island. The island of Themhattan. I'm good. And just another cloudy, rainy, gray, 20 degrees colder than anywhere else in the country. Los Angeles, California.
I'm sure you'll be praying for rain come July, but don't worry. In Tbilisi, it's looking scorching.
Is it really?
Oh yeah, it's in the 80s.
Shut the... I have to look up my weather app. 1 second. This is good pod right now.
Hold on, can we just pause for a second? I need to look at my weather app.
Yeah, tomorrow 80, Thursday 81, Friday 85.
I'm packing. I mean, you're already packing shorts, obviously, but I was not going to, and now I've had to rethink my whole strategy.
Redoing your whole strategy day of.
I know.
Not many people are built for something like that. Thank God you are.
I kind of have a nimble operation, so I'm able to pivot on a dime.
Yeah, I've been trying to prioritize nimbility for Q3. 2-4.
Nimbility. That's definitely some sort of new like disease that someone's going to come up with.
Yeah, actually, now that you say that, that for when a company is too bloated and overwrought with bureaucracy and red tape, that means you're being nimblest.
Damn. See, there we go. That's it. Let's start.
This is a nimblest organization.
This is you're being very nimblest right now. Speaking of slurs, I don't know if you saw this, but one of our leaders, you know him from the religion of Catholicism, but Pope Francis has issued an official apology for using a homophobic slur during a meeting with bishops.
Yeah, I did read this. They came for the Pope.
Since you're an expert on slurs, I wanted to maybe go through what slur do you think the Pope used when trying to say that no gay priest should be allowed?
Okay, well,
what do you think?
This is reminiscent. Friends of the pod and keen listeners will recall when we had a beautiful dinner at San Francisco's Quince restaurant, and a dish appeared on the menu that raised a few eyebrows, which is likely the same exact slur that our Italian Pope made at the Vatican, which is fagottini.
Italians do have a way about them, and the Pope, he's old, but I think he would still throw some sauce on it. So I think fagottini you might be right. You might be absolutely right.
Don't use it. Don't use a sauce reference in terms of pasta.
Let me have this one, bro. I'm thinking about noodles. But I would say also because Richard Dreyfuss got in trouble for some slurs same day.
They got Dreyf. They got so 2 unks down is what you're saying.
2 unks down. 2 guys that I don't have much use for. I mean, I'm sure if we looked up, Dreyfuss on IMDb, there'd be some classics in there. I can't think of any off the top of my head since I'm not a film buff. But I just. These old white guys are fucking up again. At least it's not like Eric Clapton, Bob Dylan, Van Morrison. My old guys.
Yeah.
They were just anti-vax. That anti-vax seems fine compared to this.
Yeah, I would say Dreyfuss maybe most popularly known for Jaws.
Yes. Oh, that's what he was doing it was some sort of Jaws gathering that he was speaking at.
It was JawsCon.
Of course. The preeminent
Back
Jaws.
in my day, we didn't have no damn queer sharks. Some bullshit.
Oh, so these sharks just eating other men? I don't like that one fucking bit. Richard Dreyfuss isn't Southern. I don't know why we're both doing that.
He is not. He would be Southern if you switched his names. If his name was Dreyfuss Richards, he'd definitely be a Southern sissy, wouldn't
he? That's true. He's going to Applebee's with Dakota.
Dreyfuss Richard III, present. Sorry, go ahead.
We also forgot to talk about when the kicker from the Kansas City Chiefs was giving a commencement speech and said, in fewer words, women should be in the kitchen and at home. And then people went and looked it up, and his mom is a physicist, which really killed me.
Well, he commonly, like many of our drug dealing listeners, refers to the kitchen as the lab and the lab as the kitchen.
Of course.
So they're sort of interchangeable.
I understand that. But
Guys, it's fine. My mom's a physicist. Take it easy, y'all.
I forgot about I just forgot about it, and people were like, bro, what? And he's not standing down, and his more popular teammates aren't siding with him either, but they're also not shitting on him. It's a very funny. It's really, really funny.
Yeah, it's funny. Because he's a kicker, he's sort of able to operate in between this like middle ground where it's like he ain't hurting nobody's feelings, and he also ain't. We're okay if he stays or goes.
Yeah, exactly. If the Chiefs,
and whatever he says, it's fairly inconsequential.
If the Chiefs benched him, no one would care. So it's like, all right, well, this guy's a pretty good percentage. If he wants his wife to make an apple pie every day, I guess that's fine. If he's hitting the field goals, we'll let him say whatever he wants.
Yeah,
that's kind of the NFL way, though.
Yeah,
that's the NFL way.
Yeah, that's true.
To go up there and just say that and not even consider the fact that there would be blowback in 2023. Or 2024, I'm sorry. Or maybe, do you think he thought he's so up his own ass over in Kansas City that he thinks this is how everybody thinks? Like this is something that wouldn't ruffle feathers?
I think he believes that it's an opinion that America used to hold on to.
Yeah.
And a lot of people agree with him in the shadows, and him saying this loudly and proudly, he's going to start. There's going to be a groundswell of activity.
Okay, so
like RFK Jr. something like that. People are going to start coming on to the trad wife train for a kicker.
Okay, so he's whispering to some of these dime square hotties, and he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know it.
Yeah, he's waiting for everyone to do a slow clap for the few, the proud to start saying, you know what? He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
And I think the opposite has happened. I think those people are... I don't think he's changing anyone's minds. You know what I'm saying? I think the people that agree with him already agreed with him. I think the other people think he's an idiot. So maybe it's just a neutral outcome at the end of the day.
I guess NFL players not known for their supreme intelligence across the board. Obviously, there are exceptions. But, I think he's probably just like a 24-year-old guy, and he's like, I make enough money so my wife doesn't have to have a job, so she should be taking care of the kids and cleaning up the house. And luckily for me,
yes,
my job is the NFL.
I hope he keeps getting gigs speaking. That's my hope, is that he continues to get platformed so that we can see how far he's going to take it.
Yeah, it'll be when Aaron Rodgers runs in 2028.
Didn't Aaron Rodgers turn down a vice presidential
with RFK
candidacy with RFK? I think he did.
Maybe
he's still got touchdowns to throw. He's not ready to give it all up for politics.
Not ready to hang up the cleats. I think Aaron Rodgers would probably get more votes than RFK right now.
Yeah, definitely. Aaron,
he definitely has a bigger social media platform. He has a bigger audience base, and it doesn't take much to be a better public speaker than RFK.
That's what I was going to say.
But he is, he's well spoken.
That's what I was going to say. Aaron Rodgers on acid is still easier to understand than RFK speaking straight into a microphone.
Yeah, but I mean, impediment or not, brain worms or not, I think he's just straight across better, more confident, bigger dick energy. I'm not saying all this stuff because people often confuse me with Aaron Rodgers. It has nothing to do with that whatsoever.
It has nothing.
Massive, wide, girthy dick energy. Something about that cat. I can't put my finger on it. Can't wrap my hand around it. It's too wide.
I wanted to give a shout out to.
Go ahead, give a shout out.
No, I just want to give a shout out to Rafael Nadal. It was his final. What's thought to be his final French Open. He did lose in the first round. He got a tough draw, but I didn't get to watch it because I was on the plane. But it was it was 2 sets. It was quick.
So that's his last Garros.
That's supposedly, but I mean, you know how these guys are. He'll go home. He'll go back to Mallorca. He'll do some blood transfusions, and he'll be back next year.
Some transfusione. More of that blood that keeps him straight, kind of, and then he'll be back. He'll be back. He's still got one more hair transplant left in him.
Well, I think that's the thing. He hasn't had a hair transplant yet. Maybe that's what he needs.
Oh,
maybe that's what he needs.
I don't know, man. He may have just done like what do they call it when you do Botox? What are they called? Units?
Yeah, I don't think you can do it like that, but I see what you. I don't think you can microdose hair transplants, but I see what you're. I see what
Just
you're
a little.
I see what you're.
I don't know. Why, I don't see why not. I mean, it seems like a waste of time flying all the way to Turkey to just let me get 10 units, but slow and steady wins the race. That's the problem with the hair transplants. They try to knock it all out in one weekend, and then it's jarring to your friends and familia.
Oh, you're saying
you have to go to Turkey 7 to 9 times. It's like Invisalign. You need 19 different trays.
You got to breadcrumb your hair transplant. You got to really meter it out.
Yeah, I mean, because if you want it to be natural, hair grows
Yes,
at a slow speed. Typically,
that's true.
hair is cut at a very quick speed.
Damn, bro. Hold on.
Yeah, man. Something to think about.
Oh,
Much to consider. Thank God I have a long flight later today because I have some pondering to do out the window of my premium select. You didn't do Delta One, did you? Did you get an upgrade?
no, but it's Air France. So apparently, I've done some research on some of my websites, and Air France is known for having discounted first class at the gate. Like it'll be like $500.
Though they're open to wheeling and dealing.
They're open to wheeling and dealing, and often it's very affordable, is what I've read. So I'm gonna probably do that, or hope to do
If
that.
you push it to the left, or you're gonna attempt.
I'm gonna
do that. I hope you don't do a jinxie.
Well, I mean, all you can do is try. But I mean, it's not. Look, the flight to Paris is only 7.5, 8 hours. It's not that bad. After doing all these 14, 15, 16-hour flights, like this shit seems easy to me.
Great.
We have a guest today. You probably know him as Eamon Dunes. He's put out several great records. I've been listening since probably 2014. Love. 2018 was Freedom, and his new record on Sub Pop, Death Jokes, is out now. I believe he's in New York. But we're gonna
I think he's in New York.
We're gonna chat with him. Plenty to cover with the goat.
I have loose leaf tea, which is might be a little problematic because I'm getting lots of twigs and stuff in my mouth.
All right, let's start this pod. So we got Damon here. He's drinking one of the most problematic beverages a person could sip in this trying time. Loose leaf tea. Luckily, this is an audio-based podcast only, so no one's going to see all the little leaves in there. What flavor tea are you sipping today, Damon?
I'm sipping Japanese black tea.
Not cheap. Not cheap. Okay.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Not cheap. Is this something you've imported yourself? Did you get it at a local larder?
I didn't bring it over, but someone else brought it over. I paid for them to bring it over.
Okay, so you had a mule bring you this tea.
Yeah.
And
You should see if Nicki Minaj can
legal?
use your guy. She's having some trouble bringing some stuff across the border lately.
You just put it up your ass and no one notices.
Okay.
No one notices, especially when it's tea. It's tea.
Well, actually, a friend of mine, Chris Andre, a friend of mine, his parents drink this Chinese green tea, like ceremonial grade shit, and they would bring it over in like pounds and keys. And his dad was like, "This shit is more than marijuana." Like, he's bringing back tea where it's like 10 stacks for a pound of it.
Yeah.
Is this the level that you're sipping on?
I'm not sipping that level, but I've been exposed to that level. I'm a tea man. I'm a former tea man.
You've been exposed like Louis C.K. to a high level of tea.
Yeah,
is what you're saying.
I've seen it. I haven't touched it.
Because I'm more of a low tea guy myself, so this is cool to experience your mojo.
Hey, I'm happy I could be interesting.
And also, ironically, no shade, but compared to coffee, tea is a little low tea.
A little low tea?
It is. It is.
Wait, what does tea mean? What do you mean by tea?
Testosterone.
That's slang for testosterone.
Oh, I see. I'm not hip to all that. I am pretty low testosterone.
Damon's like, I'm not hip to that. I'm straight, actually. So if you guys could kind of chill out with that, that'd be good. I didn't know. So do you have a friend or a shaman that is more into tea than you that has put you on?
I used to live in China, actually.
Oh, okay.
So I saw all kinds of tea shamans.
Okay.
Why did you live in China? By choice?
By choice, yeah.
What city were you? What city in China?
I was in Taiwan and Nanjing when I was in my early 20s, and then in my mid 20s I got a job in Beijing.
Okay.
And I worked for a record label, and I tried to do this festival. I helped them do a festival over there,
Wow.
and then I basically just fucked around for a year and a half.
Sure. I had a feeling. What is your?
Yeah.
What do you think that did for you? Like, besides tea, did you take any other habits away from that time in your life?
I'm sure you had to completely learn Chinese.
Of course.
Yeah, I learned Chinese. Yeah, that's what brought me over there originally.
How's the Chinese sounding now?
It's rusty, man.
But if we plopped you in Taiwan, you could get us to dinner.
Oh yeah, I could definitely get you. I could definitely get you to dinner.
Okay, I mean that's serviceable. That's better than what I got.
Need. Yeah.
So because of your Chinese roots, do you do bigger venues over there than you should be doing?
I haven't toured since 2011, at which time I played very small venues. but if I were
you
to go
haven't
back,
toured at all?
No, in China.
Okay.
So yeah, if I went back, I mean, yeah, who knows? I don't think I want to go back though.
You're good for now?
I'm good. I'm good.
Are you a good traveler in general, or do you
No,
not
I'm
love
terrible.
it? You're terrible.
I'm terrible. I used to not give a shit, but now I really give a shit.
Like you need your creature comforts, or
yeah.
you're a diva like us.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, I'm told even.
If a mosquito lands on your habitual itinerary every day, the whole thing crumbles. We're all houses of cards ready to blow over at any moment.
Oh, seriously, it's at any moment.
And also, you have a kid, right?
I had 2 kids.
You have 2 kids. So yeah, traveling to China with 2 kids is a whole thing because you don't want to bring them.
Oh hell no. No. You'd have to put a gun to my head.
Those little bastards can't even play instruments. They have no use for me over there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, totally.
They can't even do auxiliary percussion.
Yeah.
How old are they?
I got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, 2 girls.
Oh wow, okay. So you're really in it.
Oh yeah.
And these are New York City chicas, right? We're living in New York.
Yeah, New York City Chica, baby. I mean, one of them was born in LA, but the other one's in New York City Chica.
Touche.
Are you from New York originally?
I'm from Philadelphia actually, but my family's all from New York. So I mean, technically.
Okay. So technically, all right. So you have
How long gone
2
live in Philadelphia? Get your tickets now.
Where in New York are you?
I'm in Greenpoint right now.
Oh, you are. Okay. Now, were you an early Greenpoint settler?
I was there. Like I was here in 2001 actually for the first time.
Wow, 2001.
Yeah, a long time ago.
Back when this was all orange groves.
Yeah,
totally. I rode my mule. We all rode horse and buggy.
You took your mule down the hill to go see the Strokes play at Baby's All Right.
Exactly. Yeah, totally. All by candlelight. It was very beautiful.
I love the idea of you taking the mule over to Williamsburg to do some partying on a Tuesday night. That's the only way to get there.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get there.
Speaking of you living over there, 2001. Where exactly were you on 9/11, Damon?
Oh yeah, well I was actually my girlfriend was in Greenpoint in 2001, but I was still in Philly. She had an apartment on McGorlick Park, and I would come over, come up on the weekends. But I was in Philadelphia for 9/11.
Well, that's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if that story checks out.
Yeah.
We'll look into that.
Yeah,
I don't.
You won't find anything.
Well, actually, speaking of kids and NYC action, I was thinking yesterday because I think you might have a mutual friend of mine and my wife's through your children, friend of the show Doria.
Oh really?
But it had me thinking.
Oh yeah,
Doria. Shout out to Doria.
Shout out to Doria.
But you hear a lot of people, mostly people in LA maybe, or just other parts of the world where parents will complain about having to hang out with other parents because their kids are friends.
Right.
So like, I don't like this dad, but we kind of have to kick it at the first grade graduation party or whatever. Like you have to hang out with these people because your kids are BFFs. But I feel like in Manhattan, it's maybe the opposite where it's like a networking opportunity for you where you're like, our kids are friends and that's how I got this, Maker's Mark deal because they work at Droga 5 and I did this and blah, blah, blah. So, are you doing some good child-based networking? I
mean, not really. Maybe I should be, but not really. I mean, I just like kind of space out and just
keep to yourself.
Talk. Yeah. I mean, I hang out with these BFFs of my girls, but I could do better maybe with the Maker's Mark.
Well, I feel like depending on how straight-laced these parents are, you could be considered a freak.
I am. And honestly, to be quite honest with you, I mean, other than Doria, I like literally just hide myself like super hard. I'm just like, fucking like, it's not worth it. There'd be so much lengthy explanation to kind of like reveal myself. I just like go cold.
You just gotta.
So what's your band like?
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't even know where to begin.
In LA, I hear about people like breaking into Hollywood that way. You know, it's like, oh, I don't know. I met this guy and he's got a show and now I'm on that show or now I'm writing for that show.
I could see that happening, but like, you know, yeah, I don't know. I maybe I should try.
I don't look if it's not feeling natural for you. Let's not push.
I have
yourself.
A feeling you don't want to try.
I honestly don't want to try. I would do it for you guys.
Okay, sure, yeah, sure.
Okay,
just to report back and kind of give us the data we're looking for.
Yeah.
When did you live in LA?
I lived in LA from 2019 through 2021, 2018 through 2021. So yeah, we were there for my fucking dog's going crazy.
We can't hear it actually. We can't hear it actually.
I can hear him though. He's a psychopath. Hold on. Let me multitask here.
You got dogs. You got dogs. You got all kinds of problems.
Dude, I got lots of problems. So I was in LA from 2018 through 2021, and my dog is funny. And we were there for the pandemic, and then we came back August 2021. I've been here since.
So did you go out there because of the pandemic, or you were there for it?
Yeah. We were like, this is gonna be good out here. I mean, it would have been better than here. I was lucky I wasn't here. No, I just went out there because just tired of New York, you know.
Yeah. So you were in New York. You hopped over to Wuhan and then back to LA right around that time. I just think that's kind of interesting.
No, I was in China long before that. I was in China like 2007, 2009. I'm old, dude. I mean, yeah.
It's okay. We're old.
Told you I was riding a horse and buggy in candlelight.
You're not that much older than us. I feel like
you're old too.
Yeah, we're all the same age. We're all the same age ish. It's all good.
Yeah, we're all pretty old.
Okay.
Yeah.
What restaurants, grocery stores, things like that do you miss about LA?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like San Gabriel. Oh. Chinese food and taco trucks. I mean, I fucking yeah, I miss LA so much.
Oh yeah, I guess living in China, San Gabriel Valley. That's where America goes for the real shit.
It was very legit.
Little duck
and all kinds of stuff.
Well, what neighborhood did you guys live in?
I lived in Glendale, unfortunately.
Bitch,
that was maybe what got me to leave.
I live in Glendale.
Oh shit! Sorry, man.
Glendale sort of is a supporting actor on this podcast. Glendale plays itself.
Damon, get this shit off your chest, bro. Put him on blast.
Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let me get rid of her. No, I mean, I was not a fan of Glendale, but I mean, honestly, it was just because it was like so fucking hot, and it felt like, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna let it rip. Should I let it rip on Glendale?
You should definitely
let it out. Let it out.
All right, let me let it out. Can you guys hold space for this letting it rip on Glendale?
1,000%. 1,000%. Some of our listeners, maybe not so much.
Yeah, it's okay. Hey, I can take it. It just felt like, I mean, and there were some good things about it, but it was really fucking hot. And then it just felt like kind of like a weird, like suburban kind of no man's land,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I keep it coming.
Did you have a car?
I had a car, and I love my house. It was really, I mean, where I live was great, but the general Glendale world was not my.
How did you land there as a settler?
As a settler, we just kind of like looking for a place that was like nice and affordable. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So I just kind of ended up there, and I didn't know LA. LA is amazing. It's just like you can't know it. I feel like until you've lived there a while, like. It reveals itself slowly. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I thought, 20 minutes from the east side and, could get a house and it was quiet. I mean, there were a lot of great things about it.
Don't backpedal.
Yeah, totally, dude. Hold it. I'm holding my ground. I'm trying to be sympathetic here.
No, it's okay. I mean, obviously, suburban enclaves of any city will get made fun of by other people who live in cities. That's just how it goes.
But I also think that
it's fine.
The qualities that Damon was pointing out that he didn't like, things that I also don't like, is what a lot of people do like. That's just what it. That's why people go to places like that. It's
I was raised in suburbia in Southern California, so it's weird if there's not a heat wave and that kind of weird I'm home there. I'm comfortable there.
Oh wow, yeah. I can't. I love the cold, but I can't can't take the heat.
I understand.
You're a cold lover?
I'm a cold lover. I am a cold lover, actually.
Yeah, not a whole lot of talking.
This sounds like an album title, but is it because you like to put on big coats? Are you a skier?
I like big coat. I like a brisk wind in my face. Actually, I was talking to Dory about this. Hey, full circle.
Okay.
Ask her. I'm not lying. We were talking about a cold, brisk wind in our faces just yesterday, actually.
And how much you like that.
Yes, we like that.
Okay. What temperature are we sleeping at? What's the bedroom set at?
I mean, we keep it at a nice, maybe even like 69 when the AC is going.
Oh yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that. I don't. People are freaks.
Yeah.
Anything over 70 is crazy.
Yeah. Got to keep it cold.
This is debatable, guys.
But Jason, you guys are you're cheap because you're watching the bill. That's why you keep it hot.
No, I don't keep it hot. I just, I have a sensitive body, and air conditioning and heating, the dry, artificial, filtered air, my body doesn't react to it well. So I prefer an open window.
Do you moisturize,
cool
Jason?
down. What's that?
Do you moisturize?
I moisturize my face and neck, not my whole body, though. What about you?
The whole body would be good, though.
Well,
I don't moisturize at all, honestly. You know why? I've always thought it's so strange. If you moisturize your hand, then you touch other stuff and your hands are all greasy. Just like everything gets greasy and gross. I don't understand how people navigate that part.
Wow. I agree. The hand lotion, it almost acts as a magnet, attracting dust particles, dirt,
and more dirt.
feces, cum.
Totally.
I can only do it before bed. That's when I slather my hands, and they still look like shit. But every night before bed, I have a multitude of creams to choose from, and. But yeah, during the day, I agree with you guys.
Yeah, Chris, every night for his nighttime routine. We'll get into your nighttime routine in a minute, Damon. It sounds like it's short and sweet though. But Chris will do these things called baby feet and baby hands, where he lotions it up and then he puts a plastic bag over his hands and feet for them to sort of dry, or I guess wet brine, like he's about to grill some shrimp. You know what I mean?
I'm a delicate beast in a different way, but no, my hands are
beautiful.
My hands look pretty fucked up because I also bite my fingernails. That's my bad habit. And when I was a kid, my mom used to you could buy this stuff that you would like put on your fingers that tasted awful. So she would like paint it on my fingers, and so I wouldn't bite them. And then at night,
for your hands.
Yes, so, and then at night it would be Vaseline all over them and socks. You put the sock on the hand to kind of keep the Vaseline entrapped.
Wow.
Creating a nice area for skin to heal.
Wow, that's strong discouragement.
It didn't work, obviously, because I'm still.
So that's very similar to like when like your dog pees on the rug and you spray the spray that makes him not want to do it again.
Yeah.
Correcting your behavior.
But it didn't work.
It didn't work. I mean, I think she tried into a point and then realized that I was too strong. But I've thought about doing it as an adult because I still can't stop. It's like the only thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the only bad thing I do, but it's close.
It'd be impressive if that's your own bad habit.
Maybe this could be your entree into the world of CPG products, where you can have a sustainable, animal-free, cruelty-free, biodegradable, nail-biting serum
deterrent
that
serum
both moisturizes and tastes bad. But it's also like, if you put stuff on your hands that tastes bad and then you bite your nails, you're just going to be like, I'm going to wash my hands and then bite them. You know what I mean?
I remember it being, and this is obviously a long time ago, I remember it being kind of like it wasn't that easy to get off. You know what I mean? Like it would come off, obviously, but I think it was like a time thing more than like a scrub thing. But I could be wrong. I'm sure somebody's going to correct me.
But now you have beautiful hands. That's all that matters.
I don't, actually. They still look like shit, and I'm extremely calloused, which I think is cool and manly.
Oof. Look at those hands.
Jason looks like Diddy leaving the fucking leaving the salon, but I don't. I do get pedicures weekly when I get my hair cut.
Wow.
And that is something Damon, you should do that.
I mean, I'm a sensitive guy. I told you I'm low T from the beginning, but I don't get manicures and pedicures. And
you also said you don't moisturize.
No, it's funny. I'm very high maintenance in some respects, and then I'm incredibly low maintenance in other respects. Like, I don't take care of my body at all, you know. I mean, I exercise, but like basically just shower and for a long time I would use like very aggressive soaps on my face until like a girlfriend once corrected me, that kind of thing.
So you're saying you would use like an Irish Spring body soap on your face?
Exactly. Like,
Honestly,
yeah.
that's
Like body
Damon. That's
soap.
real man shit, and I kind of back it. And there's I think I talked about this, Jason, but a friend of mine, Matt Spivak,
I also back this.
he's decided that he's taking no supplements.
Mm.
He's washing. He's using. So he's like, fuck all of it. We didn't need it at one point. I'm sure we don't need it now. And I kind of think that this could, as a person who does the exact opposite of that to the extreme, I feel like I might get there one day.
My doctor told me the same thing. He's like, stop all this
Really?
fucking vitamins. What are you doing? Yeah. Yeah.
This is from a doctor. I think Matt just made it up.
Totally. No, these two, they were like, you're this is stupid. What are you
Well, for me, for all the stuff, like in terms of the soaps, the lotions, the pills, the supplements, the vitamins, the this and that, every single thing I've ever done, put in or on my body, I have never felt or noticed a difference whatsoever.
Totally.
Use a promo code HowLong for Fatty15, first month free.
I do feel like some of it works, but I also think some of it works because I'm paying for it and I want it to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like it's a brain thing.
To me, it's all just the fucking
What do you
same.
think? You could stick to, toothpaste, maybe deodorant, and then soap. That's about all you need, probably.
That's all you need. All those accessories. But your girlfriend or wife isn't trying to put you on to like eye cream and shit because she doesn't want you to look old.
No, definitely not. And I don't care. I don't know. I couldn't care less about that. But like I said, yeah, in some respects, I'm like flying. Yeah, I'm high maintenance there. But with my body and stuff, I'm like, I don't know. If I look old, it's kind of cool.
So we're high maintenance with our tea consumption.
Yeah.
And for flying, Chris and I have a flight later today. We're going to Tbilisi, Georgia.
Oh, wow.
Pretty sick.
Why are you going down there?
We have to do influencing.
We were invited by a hotel to join them for the weekend, and I think there's some activities planned around the city, but it's a place that I would probably never go on my own, but I would like to check it out. It's like the perfect way to go to a place like this.
Free?
Have you been?
No, definitely. I didn't know it existed.
You're like, you said a bunch of words, and I believe you that it's a city and a place.
Oh, you mean Tbilisi, Georgia? Georgia, the country.
Georgia, the country, not Georgia,
the country,
the beautiful state that I'm from.
For a moment, I thought, Tbilisi, Georgia. That's an unusual name for a city in.
It's right out. It's right outside. It's right
Southern
outside
Atlanta.
Macon. Lots
Oh
of
my God.
farmland.
It's the Glendale of Decatur, just 20 minutes out.
Yeah. Wow, it's amazing. That's good one. That's funny. No, I've never been to the country of Georgia either. That actually, I would like to go to the country of Georgia. That is amazing. I thought you were saying amazing. I thought you were saying you were going to some like obscure, like third-tier city in the state of Georgia to a hotel for the weekend. I was like, that's cool. I was like, and I appreciated you weren't like ripping on the whole experience, and you were just kind of like trying to like stay positive about it.
We were just earnestly saying like, we heard they have a good water park we're gonna go check out.
Right, I thought it was like you were going to be like
We're
a
at the
sort of like
Hampton Inns.
celebrity guest. Yeah, the Hampton Inn. Yeah.
It's the Hampton. It's the Hampton Inn. It's not really a water park. It's more of a water slide at the Hampton Inn. But it's something to get excited about.
They keep it clean. Okay, so
you go to Georgia.
So
wow.
you a Delta flyer?
I'm a Delta flyer. Yeah.
Oh, let's talk.
Okay.
Let's talk. You a million miler? How are we looking?
No, it's sad. Thank you. I try. I just bought a flight right before I spoke to you guys to Europe.
Okay.
I'm gonna go on tour. I have a European tour in July, so I booked Delta.
Okay. Oh, that's perfect. How many shows?
Like 5 shows.
Okay, it's quick.
Nice run.
Quick, yeah, not quick enough.
But you need obviously you need a lie flat. Is that where we're going with this?
But I'm not. I'll do like a premium economy, at least. Because I can't. I don't know. I'm a bitch. I just can't do. I won't do coaching anymore. I won't do it.
Well,
I just won't do it.
I would argue a true bitch is getting Delta 360 lay flat only. Delta 1.
Yeah.
Get more bitchness.
I mean,
get more bitchy.
Step your bitchness up.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're flying out of JFK and you go, so like I live in LA. I go to the Delta, the Delta Lounge.
Yeah.
And the line, there's these red carpet stanchions set up, and the line at the very most is 1.5 people.
Oof.
It takes 12 seconds to get in and out.
Mm-hmm.
The one in JFK usually has 700 to 800 people in line, and then 300 to 400 people in line for the Delta One side.
Yeah.
Do you have any tips or hacks on getting in there? Do you pull a cool card?
No, I'm very like I said, I don't use moisturizer. So in all my other areas of like bitchiness, I don't use the tactics to improve my experience as I maybe should, So I don't have the what do they call the TSA Express
pre-check? You don't have that?
No. My bandmates were like, "What's wrong with you, dude?" Don't have
They're like,
that.
"Why does the boss
Wait, hold
not
on.
have
My dog is barking.
Why doesn't why doesn't the boss have pre-check? What the fuck is going on?"
Seriously, it's fucked up. It's a bad look.
That's a crazy look.
Bad look.
I put off pre-check for a long time because you have to go to the airport, or you used to have to go to the airport to do it. Now you can there's like an office in Midtown. There's several places to go do it, so you don't have to go to the airport, which makes it a little easier, I think.
Damon, we're about to change your life.
We're about to change your life.
Yeah. Is it really? What else? I mean, give me some more tips.
I would say, first of all, Jason, I want to correct you. As a person who goes to the JFK Delta Lounge all the time, I've only waited in line once or twice max. But that's because I think I'm going at the right time, which is 5 a.m. And that's I think that's the only way to avoid it.
Makes me want to die just even hearing that.
Slitting your wrist sounds better than going to a 5 a.m.
Yeah,
flight.
You have to get up early to get your kids off to school. You got to pack lunches and
Totally.
shit.
That part I don't mind. Yeah, I'm up at like 6:15 every day. But flying is
you don't want to fly at 5. You don't want to leave at 7, get up at 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I take something that Jason has coined the blue eye, which is the first flight out, no matter what.
Ooh, I like the blue eye. It sounds nice. Sounds pretty.
As early as you can, but most people just don't want to get up.
Right.
They can't handle it.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
I'm built different.
Even the pilot's like, no.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I remember I used to fly to China, when I lived there. I flew back and forth, and I remember I admire this older version of myself. I would get any seat in the back of the plane. It's a 15-hour flight, and I remember one flight I didn't bring anything but one book. I just sat there patiently, just reading a book, the whole fucking 15 hours. I don't even think I slept. Now, God.
I think that I try not to watch movies on flights unless they're over like 10 hours.
Yeah, right.
I try to just use my computer, which is not any better, or read a book.
Yeah.
If I can. But yeah, the days of, we were joking about this in the last episode about, when the guy gets on the plane with nothing and you're kind of, you're like, why does this guy not have a bag? He doesn't have a toothbrush, nothing. He's just going to sit here and stare.
Yeah. It's very impressive. My manager just showed up last week or something to New York from LA with no jacket. I thought that was pretty weird. He had just a t-shirt. I was like, what's wrong with you, man? Where's your jacket? He's like, I didn't bring a jacket. So like he wore a t-shirt on the flight and he was there for days, and I thought that is actually,
I broke my own rule, and I want to admit this now on the podcast, but I did wear shorts on the plane yesterday, Jason, on the way back from Jamaica, because it was just so fucking hot when I was leaving, and so hot in the shitty airport. And I got colder than maybe I've ever been. And I've been to Alaska in December. Like I thought it was over. I thought it was over.
So
I was shaking.
I think wearing some shorts on a flight out of Jamaica is excusable and fine, but sometimes you get the airplane where the AC is pumping too much and you are so cold, and you probably didn't get a blankie. Did they give you a blanket?
No blankie. I did get the upgrade. We were in first class. No blanket was available, and it was honestly, it was hard to like concentrate on my book because I was so
Teeth
cold.
chattering.
And I never feel like that.
If you were in a situation where they did have a blanket, would you drape the blanket over your bare legs, or would you consider that to be too low T?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I would not drape the blanket over my legs. I will use a blanket only if it's an overnight flight where I am in a full lay down and I'm sleeping like it's a bed. Then I will use the blanket.
You don't want to look like a baby in there.
I don't want to.
You don't want to look like a baby. Yeah, but I think that I think it's one of those things where, it could be emasculating, but are you more concerned with how other alpha males are going to view you as weak, or how females are going to view you as a low T suitor?
What if I told you? What if what if I told you guys that it's both?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be judged by either sex for keeping a little blankie on my cold legs.
Yeah.
I would say, and I think Damon would agree with me, get you a chick that thinks blankie over the legs is kind of fun and cute.
Very sexy, yeah.
A man
Fun
who's
and
not
cute.
afraid to warm himself up.
Like a little
You
baby.
know, that's a dick that gets sucked, right, Damon?
That's
Is that what they say? Is that what they say?
yeah.
That's what you
as
said.
the old saying,
That's what they say in
goes.
Tbilisi.
As the old saying goes, yeah. we learned that we were researching the country of Georgia. No, but I did feel also because the plane was full of like the worst kind of tourists going back to like, the outskirts of Long Island.
They'll kick your ass.
Everybody was wearing shorts. Like these are people that would never consider
From Jamaica to Jamaica.
putting pants on for a flight. So I felt
Yeah.
less superior than I try to make myself feel normally, but also no one else seemed. I was checking it out. I was looking around. Other people didn't seem as cold as me, and it did make me feel different because usually I'm so hot.
I know why, Chris. Because they were warming themselves with a little bit of the island rum, whereas you were having a timidly warm Evian.
That's absolutely actually in Jamaica the brand of water you see most is called Wata. WATA, which I think is very clever from a branding standpoint.
Yeah, it is nice.
I thought it was very nice.
My favorite Tyla song.
You order it with an accent?
I don't. I try not to do the accent. It's tough for me with British or Canadian. But with Jamaican, I find the strength to not do that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's do a little role play, Chris. Let's say you're at the Hudson News in Jamaican Airport, and you want to order a wata, but you don't want to say it with a Jamaican accent, but you also don't want to sound like too much of a honky. How do you do it? Or are you happily sounding like a honky?
Look at me. I'm obviously happily sounding like a honky. It's all I have. It's like when I go to France, and maybe, Damon, maybe you're like this in Europe. I don't pretend to be anything I'm not. I don't pretend to be French. I don't pretend to know the language. I just act like a dumb American because that's what I am. And I hate them and they hate me. And I think that's fine.
Yeah, they don't like it when you try and speak French.
You can't win. You speak
It
English,
really
they don't
pisses
like
them
you.
off. They really
You try to
pisses
speak
them
French,
off,
they don't like you either.
Yeah.
Do you speak any French?
No. That'd be like terrible little bits of moments. You know what I mean? Like in a gas station, if I have to order something, I could probably, I can't even remember now. I'll Google that shit before I get over there. But I can get by. I can get a croissant or something.
Did you graduate college? Did you go to college?
I did. I don't sound like it, but it's a good question.
No,
yeah.
I'm surprised. I just because you've been making music for a very long time, so I didn't know if you.
No, I did. I did, and I started making music my senior. I mean, I was kind of making music in college, and then my first band was when I was a senior.
In college, where'd you go to college? In the Northeast?
Yeah, outside of Philadelphia, Swarthmore College.
Oh yeah, okay. And that's like a liberal arts. That's it's
A
not
Swarthy boy, huh?
It's not you make up your own grades, but it's not you don't make up your own grades.
Yeah, you could say that.
They didn't have a great football team.
They did not have a good. Actually, their basketball team has weirdly become good.
Oh, that's nice. After you left, they finally found a point guard that could kind of run the floor.
Yeah, exactly. They survived without me.
Okay, and your first band was trying to sound like another band?
Yeah, in many respects. We were pretty idiosyncratic. It wasn't always good, but I had a band called Anook when I was a senior in college, for years, the first couple of years of the early 2000s with my brother, kind of like right after the Strokes. So yeah, second wave of those Brooklyn bands.
Yeah.
And we, put out records and toured and.
Oh, so it was pretty serious. Is your brother still a musician?
He is, yeah. He's an amazing musician.
Is he in a band or is he a session
He's
guy?
done under his own name for a long time, but his project now is called PEG, P-E-G-G.
Okay. And where does he live?
Cool.
He lives in Brooklyn.
Okay. Are you guys still cool?
Yeah, we're totally cool.
There was okay. So when you both went solo, it wasn't like a Black Crowes situation.
No, it was pretty bad actually. When the band was like pretty brutal. Everybody was like very fucked up and
Okay.
We worked through it though.
yeah, we did.
Was it due to other members or was the fucked upness coming from you
all
and bro?
of us. I mean, like all of us. I mean, we were people were like like smoking crack and stuff like that. So it was quite functional.
Okay.
The functionality was very low level. It was very low.
That'll happen.
That does happen. It's inevitable.
That's what you should be doing at that age. And I try
everybody should be smoking crack.
As a person who's sober, I feel like I'm able to encourage people to do that at that age, because eventually, if you do it right, you'll get over it. If you do it wrong, you'll end up like me.
You guys should totally do this, but don't die. You might die. Don't die.
Don't die. Don't die. Don't do that.
That's bad.
When you were touring in Anook, was it like the Econo line, 5 guys like sleeping on floors type
5
vibe?
guys, 1 pipe?
And it was like that, but it was we did well too, though. Like it wasn't like, super fancy or anything, but yeah, it was a pretty successful band.
You guys are selling some tickets?
It was surprisingly easy. You sold tickets? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did well. And we toured Europe a couple of times and supported some bigger bands.
Yeah, so it went well. So it gave you hope that you could do this on your own.
Yeah, totally. And then I did do it on my own before Amen Dunes, and I did a solo record with Astralworks, and it was a disaster. It was like, I got destroyed.
Did they want some hits from you?
Astralworks was cool. The press didn't like it so much. So.
The label was great, but everybody hated it.
Yeah, everybody hated it. Our friend Jason Will Welch, though, was one of the only supporters at Fader.
Oh, wow.
So you guys know each other that long? I was wondering how long.
I've known Will for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, I did the solo record, and then that like crashed and burned, and then I started Amen Dunes. 2006, I started. Amen Dunes.
So your flirtation with the major label was a one and done.
Yeah, it was pretty much one and done.
How many different ways is this album out? Is it on tape? Is it on LP? Is it on streaming?
They don't do CDs anymore, sadly.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think they do CDs at all.
I'm surprised that of all Sub Pop I thought Sub Pop would do CDs.
I'm all about CDs. I don't like vinyl. You got to flip it over. It sounds all crackly and stuff. So
vinyl is unfortunately for nerds.
Yeah,
and I think even people that like vinyl would agree with that.
They don't really like vinyl deep inside.
I don't think that. I think that. Where did I read about this? There was something recently about how vinyl collecting and like the ego that goes with it, that like it's about having all of it, and it's not even about listening to it. Almost, it's about like acquiring it and having all. Oh, as we were talking to Ray Capo from Youth of Today, he was talking about how like vinyl collecting, you get to a point where you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So you never had like a room full of records.
I may have them, but I don't know. I'm like,
I have them.
It's just for when people come over to your house for a dinner party and you and your guest have a glass of orange wine and you retire into the vinyl room and you go, oh, that's Miles Davis, that's cool.
No, I listen to some jazz. You did orange wine? Did you say? I like that.
Are you an orange wine guy?
So it felt very like a hallucinatory state, orange wine. No, but I'm not an orange wine guy, but it sounds nice. Throwing a little Miles Davis. No, I think the whole like audiophile world, I don't know.
It's cool that you think that's lame, because
I think it's lame.
I think it's lame too, because you're a professional musician who's been doing this at a pretty high level for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you think you can hear things that a layman, cannot?
I would say in the studio, sure. I have very sensitive ears. I have like dog ears. So I do believe like the recording should have very high fidelity, but like I just don't think there's that much of a noticeable difference between CD and vinyl. I mean, digital recordings through a good system are perfectly fine. Your phone, fucking sucks. I mean, listening to music on the phone is super, super fucked up. Even the laptop is super fucked up.
Yeah.
We're just used to it, and we're lazy. I'm lazy. So I play shit off my laptop.
Yeah.
Same.
And chasing the analog warmth is a bit of a fool's errand nowadays, unless you're like Jack White recording it straight onto the lacquer, or you're using, every computer is, every studio is just in Pro Tools, and then you export it onto vinyl. So it's a digital signal anyway. So it's, it's kind of whatever.
Yeah. It's a little bit, even like, mixing down to tapes, some people say is a myth a little bit. So
hey, don't come for tapes.
Yeah.
Thriller. Yeah. Thriller on the reel-to-reel coming out of those NS10s, baby. Ooh, it's so flat.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Actually,
nerds.
Speaking of nerding out, let's nerd out on your music a little bit. I want to talk to you about symbol programming.
Sure.
You have some fucked up symbol programming, and I feel like symbols are your love language.
Symbol programming. I do love cymbals.
You a Zildjian guy? Zildjian paste? What are we using?
I think it's more of a drum machine, Chris.
I know.
No,
Guys, I
these
know.
are digital. Yeah, the drum machine.
We don't know that.
I don't know shit about real drums, you know. Although a guy in Glendale or maybe Burbank sold me some beautiful cymbals once, but I can't tell the difference.
Can you play real drums?
But yeah, I don't play drums, but I do program drums. So yeah, on this record, I programmed drum machines and then like software MIDI drums.
Yes. Yeah. So when you are, because like some of them you can kind of tell are like cut and paste MIDI symbols and things like that. And then some of them, maybe, was there a little 909 going on in there?
There's a lot of 909. Yeah. There's a lot of 909. There's a couple other hardware drum machines mixed in with drum samples, you know, looping kind of break beats and stuff, and then MIDI programming too. So it was a mix of different kind of drums.
Okay. And I've a lot of it sort of has syncopated, hypnotic kind of rhythms, things coming in off time, and they come back around and loop back, and it is in time. And it had me thinking yesterday when I was listening to the album on weed. What does your body do on stage when you're performing this stuff? Because I'm noticing some like Kid A style drum looping and programming with the 909, and you see, you know, Tom York of that era, he would be memed a lot for his crazy rhythmic dancing, and it had me wondering what you're doing up there. How you wiggling that bot of yours?
Yeah, my bottom. I do some like slow gyration, you know, a little bit of low T kind of smooth kind of movements, you know.
Okay.
Slow gyration is not what I was expecting.
So there's you're not wiggling your head back and forth to where drool is flying against the side fill monitor or anything like that.
I mean, if I got to that state, it'd be a good day, but no, normally it's just kind of slow, you know, kind of slow movement, kind of moving in half time.
Okay.
I mean, it's funny you say Kid A because I definitely, you know, of course I love that record. I'd never had Kid A in mind as a reference. But I think like what ended up happening with this record, that is like the parallel, really. That record is like the only thing, you know, in recent years that I can think of that feels like a parallel in many respects.
Because this is a little bit of a departure for you. It's something new sound wise.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I recorded some other records back in the day. They were, you know, little more underground or whatever, that were used drum machines and that kind of thing, but never like this and never on this scale.
Have you ever, or also another bad stoner thought that I had yesterday listening to it, I wanted to hear a remix version of this album. But so typically when you have a remix version of an album, you're taking these songs and then they're adding some crazy new different beat, you know, drum and bass remix, trance remix, hip hop, whatever. I want to remix your album into just a normal album. Like, what would these songs sound like if it just had a traditional 4 on the floor standard, you know, there's a intro, chorus, bridge, and outro, and here we go, and just a regular you know.
It wouldn't be as beautiful, but I do think of a minimal mix though. I wouldn't change the kind of core rhythms and things, but I've done it, you know. Obviously I was recording it myself, so I would mute things and decide what to incorporate. And minimal versions of these songs can be very cool. I would like to do it. I wish Sub Pop would let me do it.
Yeah, Sub Pop. I mean, just to have it be, it almost seems like it would make it like this abstract, like more abstract than what it already is by simply adding a 4 on the floor drum pattern. I'll play around with it. Just send me the stems in Ableton, please.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you do it for me.
Can you take care of it? It's your idea. If it's your idea, if you want to do it that bad, go ahead. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're welcome to just do whatever you want with it.
I mean, you have the 909. Just go kick on the 4, and we're done.
I'll mail it to you, man.
Did you say that you recorded it yourself, the whole thing?
Yeah. I mean, I try to work with all kinds of people. I mean, I went to like East West Studios. I went to like all kinds of fancy places, and people just didn't really understand what I was trying to do. So either they would submit things to me that I didn't like, you know, or I would show them what I was doing. They were like, well, you know, what's wrong?
No, we're good. We don't want your money, sir. Can you please leave?
No. They wanted my money, but they wanted to fix it in their mind.
They looked at your new album as like a restoration product. project.
Totally.
We'll see
And
if
then,
we can make something out of this, but I don't know.
yeah. And then after it came out, they wrote me a message being like, "Oh my god, I love it, it's so great." I'm like, "Of course."
Well, it's getting great reviews. Now I've been seeing it
Yeah.
everywhere. And you played Bowery Ballroom?
No, I played Brooklyn Steel.
Brooklyn Steel. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take away those 2,500 tickets. That was
I
apologize.
would have rather played Bowery Ballroom actually. Sounds better.
But you just did Brooklyn Steel, and that was like a full band. That was like an album release
Yeah, full
kind of
band.
thing.
Yeah, pretty much.
Are you
Yeah.
doing? And is it going to be the same setup in Europe?
Yeah, bring it. Well, yeah, minus one dude.
Oh, what's his?
Very. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him, but just the music business. Nothing wrong with the music business. It's very expensive to tour music. It's unbelievably expensive.
It is.
So.
That's why we do a
Yeah.
podcast. There's no instruments, no tour manager. We're it's just two of us. We show up.
Have you
Yeah.
you considered picking up DJ sets afterwards to try and fill?
Dude, I'd pick up a side job again. I'd just start doing deliveries again, or maybe working in construction or something.
Have you had a lot of funny jobs?
Oh yeah, over the years. My first job in New York. Well, I can't even talk about what my first job was actually, but one of my second or third job was I had the night shift at a deli uptown. So I was the sandwich guy, but at my shift ended at midnight, and I would put a rehearsal at midnight. Can't fucking believe it. Now I go to bed 10 p.m. and I would start rehearsal at midnight with these guys. So that was pretty
Were
interesting.
you able to bring the fellas a nice sack of sandwiches though?
I should have. One thing, speaking of hands, bringing it back to the beginning of our conversation, one of my gravest mistakes as a sandwich guy was I had to bleach, you had to bleach down the machine at the end of the night, and I didn't wear gloves. Because I was like, why would I need I'm fucking 21 years old. Who gives a shit? I don't need to wear gloves. So I would bleach this machine with no gloves, and I did that for a number of days, and I was like, oh my God, this is super fucked up. I should wear gloves.
That is, as a sandwich artist, that is a mistake because you need your hands. It's important.
You do. As a sandwich artist,
so you were a deli man. Did people walk in and call you boss?
yeah, I definitely probably call me
Boss man?
Boss man. No, they call me just boss.
Okay.
Do you remember
Okay, did
what
you
the most
have-
popular sandwich order was in that neighborhood?
People like turkey.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Uptown
Mayonnaise,
is
turkey, tomato, lettuce.
I didn't think you were uptown enough for a chopped cheese. I assumed it was more of a turkey uptown.
Yeah. It was like kind of Upper West Side, Columbia.
Okay.
Vicinity, some random ass deli on Columbus Avenue.
Did you have a Damon special that you made yourself?
No, I wasn't that high profile.
Okay.
I sort of was just receded into the
I
background.
want what Damon's having.
Yeah.
So there wasn't a Damon's hoagie on the menu or anything like
No.
that.
I was like a very I was a peripheral character in this deli.
Okay. That's a pretty freaky job, to be honest.
Yeah. And I worked in construction. I mean, landscape construction mainly, and I had a delivery job. So I would go to a dispatcher in the theater district, and he would give me random assignments, and I would get paid per job. Like one time, he gave me a manila envelope, which I obviously wasn't allowed to open. And he's like, you have to go to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. I don't remember where the fuck it was. It was a 4-hour drive. He's like, you gotta be there.
That's going to be a long ride on my fixed gear.
Yeah. No, I just drove my van. I would just drive and drop this envelope back in. So I had jobs like that for a long time.
I feel like in a certain era of New York, people had weird jobs. It was those still existed. I feel like if I tried to go be a sandwich guy at a deli right now, it just wouldn't work. No one would want me.
Yeah,
it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it might not work exactly. I would just show up at these places and ask if they were hiring, that kind of thing.
Resume in hand, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And then they're like, all right, let me see you smear this hoagie with mayonnaise, see what you got, what it takes.
Yeah. And I obviously had what it took.
You had what it takes.
Obviously, I was well suited for the job.
Yeah, odd jobs.
I mean, I guess that's the life of a musician to a certain extent.
Yeah,
if you have to rehearse and tour and shit.
Totally. I mean, I guess it's changing these days. People make more. Some people make more money. If you're a sideman or a studio musician or whatever, you can make pretty good money.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
If one of your songs turns into espresso, you can get some nice points on that back end.
Yeah.
Do you like touring, or would you rather never tour again?
I would rather never tour again.
Sick.
You really got to try DJing, bro.
Yeah.
Well, let's
podcast. I mean, honestly, this week I was like, I should do my own fucking podcast.
It's way easier than touring as a musician. I'll tell you that.
Well, nothing
Totally.
makes you feel like you could do something than listening to people do it poorly for an hour over and over again. And you're like, so you guys make money doing this?
Right, totally.
I mean, that's how I've started every career of mine.
Yeah, totally. A little bit of competitive spirit.
Let's talk about syncs though. We have sometimes when we have musicians on, we'll talk about syncs, SYNC, not SINK. Any stories involving a sync that worked out very well, a last minute $150K for a Nabisco commercial, or maybe a sync that got away, slipped through the cracks in the last minute?
I mean, yeah, when I was younger, I had a sync that I was like banking on, I think for like Chase or something like that. But I mean, the truth, not to be boring and dark, but like, you know, these syncs come through and they're like, all right, yeah, so we'd love to use your song. It's like a Netflix show, some fucking show. And they're like, so we'll give you like $1,000 aside, you know? So it's like, you know,
Yeah.
It's pretty fucked up. Yeah.
We're looking. Yeah. I mean, we've heard some great stories about more of brand commercial.
Yeah.
That's where the money is. The money ain't on Hulu.
Yeah. So yeah, sure. I'm sure there's that kind of thing. I mean, but what's fucked up is that's the only way to make money as a musician, really, you know?
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
Like,
well, that and starting your own brand of some sort.
Right. Not doing music, basically.
Well, you use music to kind of get the eyeballs, and then you flip it into some lip balm or something that could really line your pockets.
Yeah. So music is just sort of like, you know, some sort of decoration for Nabisco, basically.
Your music career is simply a means to grow your audience and customer base, so then you could flip the switch when your CBD toothpaste finally hits the shelves
Totally.
at Erewhon.
I mean, it is
or
true
whatever
though.
it may be.
Yeah, it's true.
Every celebrity has a direct consumer business because if you have eyeballs, then you can sell something, and that's what it's
Super
about.
fucked up. I know. I wonder what I should sell. Maybe I should like bring back bars of soap for the face. For high T males.
That's you could freak it. Get an Equinox deal. Put those in every shower.
Yeah. Brand it for like alpha males. Be like this, like really rough and rugged bars of soap with like grains.
Yeah, Irish Spring soap on the face. It's a real kind of take this country back.
Yeah, Irish
alpha
winter, maybe.
male energy.
Yeah, totally.
I know pussy.
Not a bad idea. We got an election coming up. You never know.
I ain't no pussy. I use bar soap on my face is a great tagline.
It is
Great
great
tagline. All right, Damon, thank you for joining us. It was a pleasure
Hey guys,
to have you.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Long-time fan. It was nice to chat.
Thank you guys.
And have fun in Europe.
Good luck in Georgia.
Yeah, thank you.
Some peaches.
Unfortunately, we're going to be eating
Yeah, what will you be eating?
lukewarm glasses of vodka in some beef dumplings.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Sounds pretty good.
Delish.
Does sound pretty good.
We'll see you soon.
All right, guys.
All right, thanks, Damon. Later.
Bye.
Thanks, Damon.
Cheers.